Hello, welcome to Vietnam Journal, our daily English news bulletin on NETVIET VTC10. I'm Ong speaking from Hanoi. Every day we'll bring you comprehensive and up-to-date information on Vietnam. And following major stories on Thursday. IMF proposes Vietnam's interest rates to be more market determined. Belgian Crown Prince and the Princess visit temporary literature in Hanoi. And Danish Royal Foundation funds charity organization in Vietnam. Vietnam interest rates are suggested to be decided by the market rather than administrative measures. This suggestion was proposed at a conference entitled Vietnam's Policy Challenges in Transition to a Middle-Income Economy. The event was jointly organized by the State Bank of Vietnam and the International Monetary Fund on Wednesday.
Experts had in-depth presentations and discussion regarding Vietnam's inflation dynamics and monetary policy. High inflation was reported to have occurred during Vietnam's transition period such as 1986, 1988, 2004, 2008, and most recently on the third quarter of 2011. Addressing the concern of the current inflation situation, macroeconomic management is suggested to be more enhanced with more transparent monetary policies and more incorporated lending rates and deposit rate adjustments. Topics of tax reform, financial sector restructuring and state-owned enterprises restructuring in Vietnam were also mentioned during the conference.
And following is some other economic news in brief.
HSBC, one of the leading banking companies in the world, on March 13 has denied the information of narrowing activities or even withdraw from certain markets in Asia to focus on key markets. The bank has decided to focus on 8 markets, including 6 key markets with the fastest profit growth, such as Australia, China, India, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, and 2 strategic markets that have an important role in the development of this bank in the future, as Taiwan and Vietnam. HSBC affirmed the bank's strategy is to develop diverse, balanced, and powerful business activities in Asia.
Vietnam Chamber of Commerce and Industry, or VCCI, and the World Bank in Vietnam have released Vietnam Business Annual Report 2011 with theme of business linkage in Hanoi on March the 14th. The report showed that Vietnamese businesses faced with many difficulties due to the global economic crisis in 2011. However, they attempted to overcome challenges. As a result, import-export turnover exceeded $200 billion. The topic of this year's report shows that companies can enhance business linkages through participation in the value chain and the production network. This will help to develop sustainable businesses, improve productivity and business efficiency.
The Asian Development Bank, or ADB, and Vietnam have signed an $800,000 grant agreement funded by the government of Japan to finance the preparation of the water resources development in the Mid and Northeast Red River Delta project. This non-refundable aid aims to improve irrigation and drainage infrastructure, ensuring further poverty reduction in Phu Thọ, Vĩnh Phúc, Bắc Giang, and Bắc Ninh provinces. The project is expected to approve by 2013.
The Belgian Crown Prince and the Princess paid a visit to Vietnam's temporary literature on Wednesday. This event wrapped up the official visit to Hanoi by Belgian Crown Prince and economic mission.
In this first visit to the Temple of Literature, Belgian Prince and Princess expressed great interest in items and architectural style of the First University of Vietnam. The Prince and Princess were introduced about Dr. Stone Stilis. The Prince delivered a short speech and struck on the thunder drum. Also at the temple, the Prince and Princess had a meeting with some Vietnamese alumni who study and work in Belgium. From March the 15th, Belgian Prince and economic mission will start the official visit to Ho Chi Minh City, which will last 2 days.
2012 is forecasted to be the significant year in bilateral cooperation between Vietnam and Belgium, including cultural cooperation. Our NETVIET VTC10 reporter had a conversation with Mr. Frank Paza, the leader of the Wallonie-Bruxelles delegation to Vietnam, about the cultural exchange activities of 2 sides so far and the upcoming events in 2012.
So hello, Mr. Fran Pizar. This is my pleasure to see you in our talk today. So very first question is that how do you evaluate briefly the efficiency of cultural exchange activity between Belgium and Vietnam that the Wallonie Broadshow organized in 2011?
And I think in 2011 we had the most important year of our cultural activities in Vietnam. Not only bilateral activities, like for example the Comics Festival, but also a lot of multilateral activities inside, for example, the UNIC group, the European Union Network Institute of Culture that we have created with the German, Italian, Danish, French, and so on in 2010. And all together in 2011 we have organized a lot of important cultural events, like for example the Dance Festival, the Documentary Movie Festival, the Comics Festival, as I said before, Literature Festival, and so on and so on. But culture is also patrimony. And inside our cooperation program with Vietnam, we have also a lot of patrimony projects. Like, for example, in 2011, we have opened the Museum of Photography in Hanoi, which is really a big success. And I want also to mention, of course, that we help Vietnam to promote its own culture abroad. And for example, in 2011, we have organized in November in Brussels and Namur in Wallonia a week of Vietnamese cinema in Belgium. It was really successful. A lot of Belgian people have come to see the Vietnamese movie. It was really a great success.
Alright, so I just wonder what are the purposes of the recent visit of the Wallonie Broadshow Parliament delegation to Vietnam?
There are at least three good reasons. The first good reason is to answer the invitation of the National Assembly. Second part, the Parliament wanted to visit or to evaluate some of our projects. For example, they visit a patrimony project that we have near Hue, in the village of PhucTic. And really the people of the village were so impressed by the level of the visit that now they are encouraged to work more for the project of reconstruction and rebuilding of the village. And the third reason is because at the end of this year we will have the new joint commission between Wallonie, Brussels and Vietnam for the next cooperation program, and so they wanted to look for good ideas for the next program. It was really a successful visit.
It is very encouraging to hear that. We have known the significant event on March, that is the Belgian Crown Prince visit to Vietnam. So can you reveal some important cultural events for which the Wallonie Broadshow's delegation held or has been preparing for this visit? Could you tell us some more about the upcoming events or projects that the Wallonie Broadshow's delegation held in 2012?
Yes, a visit of the Crown visit is a visit organized by the Embassy of Belgium and Wallonia-Brussels delegation. It's mainly an economical visit, so we will organize mainly economical events. In culture, there will not be a special cultural event, but let me tell you that Friday, 16th of March, the Crown Prince and Princess will leave Ho Chi Minh City to go back to Belgium, and the 17th of March we will open the Francophonie Days, which I'm president of the Francophone group in Hanoi this year. And after the Francophonie we will not stop until the summer with a lot of different events in movies, in dance, in literature, in languages, and so on and so on.
Thank you for your sharing, Mr. Pizar, and that's all we have today. Once again, thank you so much.
Vietnam Journal. It's not just news, it's life in Vietnam.
Welcome back to News Bulletin. Danish ambassador to Vietnam John Nielsen has recently granted 10,000 USD to Koto, a not-for-profit hospitality training organization, by Vietnamese-Australian social activist Jimmy Pham. The assistance comes from a charitable foundation of the Danish royal family. Koto is the first Vietnamese organization ever to be funded by this foundation.
After the Queen and Prince Consort of Denmark made a short visit to Koto in their trip to Vietnam in 2009, they decided to assist Koto in helping Vietnamese street and disadvantaged children to change their fate. At the ceremony, Danish ambassador to Vietnam John Nielsen awarded Jimmy Phạm, the Koto founder, with the grant. Jimmy Phạm expressed his gratitude towards the support of Danish Prince and Queen and the embassy, especially in the harsh economy. The grant will be applied in the training program as well as accommodation, food and medical care for Koto trainees. With no one teach one philosophy, Koto's 24-month training program has helped prepare 500 Vietnamese street children with the necessary professional skills to work and start businesses in the hospitality industry.
In the Nông village in the outskirts of Hanoi, there's a special class named Sao Huê, where an old man teaches Sino-Vietnamese characters for learners aged from 9 to 70 years old. Let's follow our NETVIET VTC10 reporter to discover this special class.
Sao Huê class at Xuân Đông village is open to students of all ages to learn Sino-Vietnamese characters. The name of the class origins from the name of the star. Vietnamese ancestors consider it to be a symbol of intelligence, wisdom and knowledge. From the desire to keep the tradition of Sino-Chinese characters among young generations, Mr. Dat opened this class for free to teach students how to write Sino-Vietnamese characters.
Vì ở chúng tôi còn có vài ba người viết thôi. Thế thì tôi là người viết thì các cụ đến bàn và ông cố gắng ra tâm ông dạy đi. Thì tôi cũng phải nghiên cứu rất là nhiều. Và làm thế nào mà dạy để cho họ một cách chóng biết nhất.
At first, the old teacher only intended to teach Sino-Vietnamese characters for children in his family. Then gradually, so many people in and outside the village asked him the permission to join the class. At the beginning, the class had only some students. However, after a short time, the class welcomed hundreds of students. Mr. Dat was so surprised at his all-age students coming from different regions all over Vietnam.
Thấm nhuần cái là nét chữ, nét người, có đúng không? Thì tất cả những cái đó thì tôi thấy đúng. Vì là ai viết như thế nào là tôi biết cái tính của họ như thế. Lễ đây là chúng ta giữ trung hòa với cộng đồng. Nếu như là giáo dục được một người đàn ông thì chỉ được một người thôi. Nhưng giáo dục được người đàn bà thì được một gia đình. Thế và giáo dục được người thầy thì được một thế hệ. Bây giờ thầy dạy các thầy, xong các thầy lại dạy các thầy khác.
At the beginning, he taught his students how to write basic strokes and gradually combine them together. Each word is carefully explained, its meaning and how to apply it in real life.
Mỗi một chữ khi mà tôi nghiên cứu thì nó ra nhiều cái nghĩa quá. Nó ra nhiều cái nghĩa lắm vì cái từ thuật nó ghép vào nhau. Thì tôi thấy là nó thuận thì tôi mới giảng cho các cháu nghe, bảo ông giảng khó hiểu lắm. Đấy là tự chúng nó lại dạy mình. Thế xong dần dần thì chòm xóm người ta biết, người ta đưa con em sang. Thế là tôi cầu kỳ tôi soạn trong vòng độ khoảng phải nói đến nửa năm. Thế là tôi soạn ra 20 nét. Xong dần dần tôi rút dần thì hiện nay chính xác là còn 15 nét cơ bản.
Learning tools in Sao Huê class are very simple, including paper, brushes, and Chinese ink. The images of young 9-year-old students concentrating on their handwriting are priceless gifts to the old teacher.
Mới đầu là em chỉ biết viết tên em bằng tiếng Việt thôi. Khi mà học ông ấy thì ông dạy con chữ, và khi em biết thì em đã viết được tên của em, rất mừng vì mình đã biết viết được tên của mình.
Even though being old, Mr. Dat is enthusiastic in his teaching. To him, Sino-Vietnamese characters reflect the culture and tradition of our ancestors, as well as contain profound and humane meanings.
The start about the Sino-Vietnamese class had wrapped up our news bulletin for today. For comments and feedbacks, please send it an email to netvietdaily@gmail.com. Thank you for watching and we'll see you tomorrow.